Oh my god, holy crap! That's scary.
I'm so pleased to see that.
Hello everyone, this is Rockoing Adventures, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be talking about why Spirit Halloween 2020 is one of the best years ever. Because a lot of people have been saying that it's worse, but I think it's kind of good, so we're here to break it down and share Spirit Halloween wasn't like some sort of a pickle because of COVID, but that didn't stop them from doing the things that they love by putting up animatronics, seeing people's faces, smile, scared, everything. So we're going to be talking about why it's the best year. So right off the bat, I gotta say, this is not my favorite year. It's one of the best. 2021 is one of my favorite years ever due to that ranking that I did yesterday. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So first off, I want to explain that about the themes first, because the theme this year was Reaper's, or like 2 years ago I should say, was Reaper's Island Village and Reaper's Island Cave, which Jack's Cave is another name for it. And the themes are awesome, man. They are so neat. I love the concepts as well. It's too bad we couldn't get a walkthrough due to COVID, but it doesn't matter. I still managed to push it through, and it's become one of my favorite years ever. There's hardly any negative things about this year, but it's, other than that, it's really cool. And they did a lot of like collaborating with Morris Costumes, combining their two companies together, because they got like tons and tons and tons of Morris Costumes props to come in. And Halloween Express, we get to see both of them in the store in 2020. We get to see Catacomb Creature, Looming Clown, and Tug of War Clowns, which is not in the store. But yeah, they did a lot of collabs together. The themes that year is really neat. I love the big skull on Jack's Cave. It is pretty amazing. I'm looking on eBay to see if I could purchase one of the half of the back theme, but it's just like really hard. I don't know why. It's $200, but I'll be working towards it. Now, the animatronics are a bit of a I don't even know what it's called. Like, they match and they don't match the theme. Like, for example, Mommy's Favorite does not belong in the cave, and Harvester of Souls does belong in the cave, so I like that a lot. So, in 2020, you got to see through the windows like 10 times as much this year. Because people couldn't wait to see what was happening about COVID. Or like 10 times last year, you couldn't see. Not a lot of people posted a video about looking inside. But since there was COVID in 2020, I really bet that they were looking through that stuff to make sure that it wasn't canceled, which is kind of reasonable. I mean, I might have done that, so it was a big wild ride. Some of the props are like pretty neat. I love the fire. Like when you go through, you get to see the fire part of the theme. It's just really neat to see, especially where it could be on Roblox, where you could discover yourself, which will be the next video for tomorrow. So to start off with, like the part of the theme, the banner, it says Reaper's Island banner, or like it is a banner, it doesn't say Reaper's Island banner. And we see this like giant archway that combines it together with flames on top, and two animatronics, being one of them is Crouchy and the Butcher. They're both on either side. It happened before, like in the SS Riptide, Spirit Acres Farm, and the Halloween Factory assembly line with the, what's it called? I'm pretty sure I recognize it. Spirit Hollow, that's it. We get the same like thing like with props, like 2 props in front of the archway. But in Jack's Cave, we don't see a lot, like as you see here. It's kind of sad. I mean, it's not sad, like this just shows this massive cave that people stand on. I highly doubt they could because of COVID, and plus people were using their hands to grab the props off the themes, which I fucking hate, because I know it's like a store and people really want to buy it, but I'm sorry, I just don't like when people buy it because then I can't film properly. But thank God I'm going to Flagship this year, so I won't have to worry about that after I get back. But yeah, so the Jack's Cave is pretty neat. I love the skull on top. It really matches the theme with the glowing red lights inside. It is really cool. The skulls, like in between, we got a lot of placeholders like Krampus, Ellie Hatchet, and I think the Ringmaster. All 3 of them are in the theme, along with Little Daisy and the Maestro as well. It was just something else, you know. There was a lot of props up our alley. There was a lot of purchases to make sure they were getting everything right. And it was such a good year. Now, there was a lot of props this year, but I'm just going to give you a few ones that pointed out each year. Like Mr. Salty, Plague Doctor, Clowning Around, which is a really good prop. Mommy's Favorite, which is like kind of cool. I mean, not perfect, but everybody loves her. Harvester of Souls, he's been a real banger. Wailing Phantom is a pretty good one too. The Butcher, he's like kind of good. Angeline, she's like this doll. She's like with this teddy bear on the tombstone. Miss Mercy is a pretty good one too. One of my favorites. Nightcrawler, he's really cool too. He's coming back each year. Peekaboo Clown is a really good one. And how could we forget the most awful, in everyone's opinion, Johnny Punk. Now we have a lot of returning props like Crouchy the Clown from Spirit Halloween 2019, Bubba, the big ferocious dog that everybody likes, and one returning prop, Gatekeeper, which was really cool to see him or her back. Now there's been a lot of theme links lately, so when this came out, it's kind of neat and it kind of goes like illegal stuff, but luckily this is 2 years ago, so I have a right to put this on YouTube now. There's just been a lot of awesomeness on the Reaper's Island, and I absolutely love it. For the island itself, it's just a really cool like theme. I like to see Crouchy and the Butcher next to each other. It's just been really neat seeing those 2 brothers. They did not reunite anytime soon because they are no longer in stores or online only, hardly. But the flames are incredible. The cabana houses are sick. The weeds are amazing, and the props are absolutely outstanding for that year. It's been like an amazing year for the 2020 Halloween store, and I think they really did a great job. So for the detail, it is basically amazing. We have these, like, I know I talked about it before, it's just like such a good theme, you know what I'm saying? It's just so neat. I mean, there's hardly anything else to talk about Spirit Halloween. The themes, you already talked about the props. But there are some, like, a lot of returning props that have come out besides the ones that I mentioned, like Crouchy, the Huntress. No, not the Huntress. Pennywise. Here's the return props: Pennywise, Sigma Scarecrow, Jack Straw, Demonic Dahlia, and Crouchy. Those are all the ones that returned, and it managed to succeed because this theme looks absolutely awesome. I'm not lying. This is such a good display. I really hope they make like a massive helicopter display for like to combine with the island because of like the portraits. But yeah, it's pretty neat. So as you can see right here, they have a Morris costumes animatronics. It's kind of hard to see, but you could blend out the characters that are there. Like you can see the Butcher on the far right and the Candy Creep on the far left. And apparently they're they started already. I pretty much saw this already. I actually saw this in person. It was really cool. So I'm basically excited that everything is like all Halloween props should be together, you know? So here's the display, like getting going on. It doesn't look that good, but I mean, it looks really neat to see all those boxes back together again, you know? And this is awesome, man. I love this so much. The sign is backwards. You can see tons of boxes in there. You see Sam in the background. And the store is getting worked on. So, yeah, you could just tell that this theme was an amazing display. I hope we see it in the future. So, as for Jack's Cave, the props, like, I love the vines. It's so cool. Now, this is the prototype picture, so it's like the wall mural, so, like, you could paint this and stuff. But other than that, here's just some shots of the Butcher in the display. It looks really cool. He's probably, like, the only main character that belongs on an island. And as well as Punctured Pete, but other than that, none of the other props managed to get on an island, except maybe Demonic Dahlia and Jack Straw. But other than that, it's kind of like open-minded, you know? Like there's so many props in like each spot that it doesn't make any sense. Like, do clowns really belong on an island? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I love it. So, yeah, there's just like the Reaper's Wharf and the SS Riptide, they equal the same counterparts. Because, like, there's just, like, first you go on a boat to travel, and then you go on an island where you, like, last left off. So, yeah, this is kind of like a storyline. And then they all went home imaginary because we didn't see the SS Riptide in 2021. Instead, we saw a factory. So it is pretty neat, and I gotta say, it is really something else. I mean, look at that banner. That is so cool. Welcome to Reaper's Island. It's amazing. So here's Crouchy on there. It's like the back side where you, like, this is not when you first walk in the door. It's like on the other side of the door, you see like this giant clowns. Back. Yeah. Because, like, you would really, like, be shocked if he was turning the other way. But, yeah. Here's the, you can obviously see that this is, like, so cool. Look at all those skulls on top. I just realized that now. This is so cool, man. It is definitely a great, like, theme in general. And that's why this year wraps up the video, because I mean there's not really too much to say besides like the concepts, what I already talked about them kind of, so they won't be appearing in this video. But there is some cool props to like still get. Like there is a few 2020 props, I'm not lying, so grab them very soon. I mean, some of these props might look bad in your head, but they're actually kind of great. So that's basically it for the Reaper's Island display, and it's basically amazing. And along with Jack's Cave, it's pretty amazing too. So that wraps up 2020. Because there's not really too much to talk about. Transworld is not really on my script here. But I think Mike Crow really did a good job designing this theme. So if I meet him at the flagship this year, I'll tell him that. Because he did really good putting this into Spirit Halloween. It was such an amazing experience to see. Especially to see that Spirit Halloween was opening even with COVID. It was still pretty worth it. It's like really amazing to see. And just for the record, you should really attempt to buy this thing. Like, this is still on eBay, like, I'm not lying. This is still pretty neat, but it's not the whole thing. But yeah, that's basically it for the 2020. Once again, it has been the most best years ever of Spirit, and I hope we get to see more. So that was basically it, guys. 2020 is one of my favorite years of all time, but 2021 is is the best favorite so far. So tell me what your opinion is in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys very soon. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Oh my god, holy crap.
I'm so pleased to see the